everybody. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And, the best part about tonight is the fact that you showed up. So anything, as I said yesterday, anything from there is kind of a bonus. So just do the best you can. And I'm keeping an eye on the numbers here. All right. For our mantra count. So feet flat on the floor in a parallel position, and your sits bones, just be sitting on top of your sits bones. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just imagine someone's above you, very gently lengthening your spine. So really try and get a sense of, whether you're a person that moves a lot or not, or does exercise or not, still try and get a sense of yourself growing and lengthening and releasing all those muscles along the back side of the body. And the head is very slightly tipped forward. You can put a little bit of traction in the back of the neck. Eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, and the tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Just relax the jaw. Take a nice deep breath. Just notice if there are sounds in your environment and try not to follow those sounds with your mind. And then bring the mind back to the breath and just notice what's arising in the mind. And try and put some space in between the thoughts. You can imagine if the thoughts are kind of intense, you can just put them on a nice little white fluffy cloud and just send it on its way without being involved, without criticizing, and without coming down on yourself too hard, without judgment or opinions. And then just bring to mind all the people of your life, loved ones, those ones that you hold very dear, who are, the mainstay of your circle. And they could even be those people that, live next door and that are always willing to turn up with a pile of tools in their hand if you need them. These are your dear and trusted friends. And then there's those people in your life who, maybe they're just a burden, or maybe they're just kind of sucking all your energy, or maybe they're just harming you. And our feelings towards them are conflicted. And then we have those strangers in our life. Remembering that these people can change place at any time. I think they're all the same. They're equal to you and to me, and they wish to be happy and they wish to be free from suffering, and in having this extraordinary capacity for an enlightened mind. So remembering, as we always say every evening, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so we can equally create positivity instead. And we do this by applying, in this particular instance, the 4 opponent powers. And we're using Vajrasattva's methods. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of the heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we ourselves will experience. We know from our present suffering that we don't want it. So logically, it makes sense to remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. And so we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor who we see as a doctor and who we see as having the methods or the medicine that we can use to purify. So we're not needing forgiveness here. We're not looking for that. We purify ourselves, do the work ourselves by relying upon Vajrasattva's methods and medicine. So Vajrasattva, imagine above the crown of your head. He's facing the same way as you. You can make him as large or as small as you like. And he's made of well, first of all, you imagine also this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. This is if you have one. So just imagine your teacher there, and then imagine this is the mind of that person manifesting in this form for your benefit. So Vajrasattva is sitting cross-legged. He's made of radiant, blissful white light. He's on a white lotus and a moon cushion. Has this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. And think particularly of someone you've harmed recently in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those beings who have harmed you and have some compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to manifest as suffering for them in the future. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. We start with Vajrasattva, very compassionately sending powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipi Yatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ah hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dita meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me.
Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with the body. And the next is the purification of speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip, the harsh speech and useless speech and lying, talking badly about others behind their backs, and all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others with your speech. So you'll have the wisdom to know exactly when to stay quiet and when pearls of wisdom should fall from your lips. And this wisdom benefits yourself as well because you'll be hearing it. And the next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. And it's just the same again as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch, the light instantly dispels the darkness. It's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all the depression and anxiety and attachment, neediness and grasping and bitterness and grudges, all of this instantly dispelled. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sudokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified and gone. And just think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So again, imagining Vajrasattva sending light and nectar this time together. And it purifies even these very subtlest and eradicates even these subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Karo Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karo Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe. So now feel you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. And just think even the subtlest obscurations to enlightenment have been removed. So next is the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. It's a really crucial one. It's where we make a decision to try and refrain from harming. We just do the best we can because we have habits, we have delusions, we get overrun by emotions. So just keep it really simple. Just work on one thing at a time. And you'll probably find that by just even starting that process, it impacts many different areas of your life. So think like that. Maybe we can just meditate for 1 minute. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and just kind of melts into you, dissolves into you through your crown. And just think my teacher, my spiritual mentor as body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And next, a little bit on emptiness. So imagine in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And from Kadrala, this one, swift return prayer for Lamso Rinpoche. Guru, think of me Guru, consider me. Gracious Guru, care for me. Root Guru, most precious and most gracious and kind, do not deprive us of your compassionate refuge. Listen and consider this heartfelt prayer made by a tormented disciple. Guru, you embody the blessings of the Buddhas of the 3 times. You may rest in great bliss, equipoise in the dhatu of unimpeded luminosity, yet the playful dance of your loving compassion can emanate in myriad ways. The swift appearance of your magical wisdom, the Rupakaya. The time has come for you to care for us once again with your affectionate compassion. I invoke you, I call upon you, I implore you on behalf of all beings, arise, arise, arise from the Dhammakaya. Do not rest in Kachara or other pure celestial realms. Rather, to benefit the Buddha's teachings and all living beings, swiftly return to this southern continent to spread the Buddha Dharma of study and realization. Quickly return to guide us poor wretched beings. Such is the desperate cry of us, your disciples. Return so that we may actually behold your presence and receive the blessings of your enlightened body, speech, and mind. All violations, errors, mistakes, and broken samaya that we have made in relation to your spontaneously present awakened body, speech, and mind and activity through our being baffled, confused, and conceiving things in erroneous ways, we confess within the luminous emptiness of your 3 kayas. Of everything auspicious, the supreme auspiciousness, may there be the auspiciousness of emptiness and compassion, conjoined, and the auspiciousness of a timely meeting between master and disciples. Through the force of the truth of unchanging suchness, may the unmistaken incarnation return quickly. This lament was made by me, a Dakini with pure faith, and Samaya, her eyes filled with tears of sorrow. May these wishes of a beggar woman be fulfilled through the blessings of the deities of the 3 roots. Perception is object, and the act of perceiving all dissolve within the expanse of the blissful clarity of suchness. And for Lama Ursel Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And for Geshe-Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for hosting, Shayla. And do take care. I think